Okay, so these are the cells. Okay, tiny cells, so many tiny cells, you cannot see them with naked eyes. So these are the tiny cells. Okay, they have produced sucrose, glucose, which is converted to sucrose. Okay, and you can see this white part. Okay, these are known as veins, and actually these white parts conduct both xylem and phloem. Okay, so these green part produce sucrose. The cells which are producing in green is they produce sucrose, and anyhow they transfer their sucrose to these white part which is having phloem. Okay, so that is what I wanted to tell you. Okay, so let me tell you that this is a leaf cell which has produced this sucrose, glucose actually, but glucose is converted to sucrose. Okay, so as the amount of sucrose has increased, definitely the amount of water has decreased. As I'm telling you about the concentration. Okay, the sucrose is increased, the amount of water is decreased. Okay, it means that this is your glass, and if you are adding much amount of sugar, that is sucrose. Okay, I'm adding sugar, then obviously the amount of water, you will feel that there is less left water. Okay, because there is much concentration of sucrose, that same thing occurs. Okay, so what happened, the cell from nearby says that I'm having no sucrose, that why I am dilute. Okay, it is concentrated. You know what is the meaning of concentrated. Okay, I'm feeling less water because suddenly I have developed sucrose. Okay, so it says that take my water, so it will get balance. Okay, now what happens that as this cell will give water, okay, this cell is having both sucrose, and suddenly the amount of water is increased because it needs to balance. Okay, that is balancing is very important thing. Okay, so I need to balance. So what happens suddenly that this cell is increased its size. Okay, so size cannot be increased by plant. Okay, but as it is taking more water, okay, there is a pressure on its wall because more water come inside. Now what to do, I'm having more water, what to do, let's do something. Let's move some amount of move the sucrose here. I'm moving my sucrose here. Okay, where I'm moving my sucrose, I'm moving my sucrose. Okay, I'm having much amount of water. This cell says that I'm having much amount of sucrose, that's why to manage this sucrose I have taken the water from my nearby cell. Okay, now I'm feeling the pressure, so let's transfer some amount of sucrose to these cells which are known as phloem. I am transferring this, so it transfers. What it does, it does transfer of sucrose to these cell which are known as sieve tube cell. Okay, this is the phenomenon. Okay, so what happens that as it is getting, it has less water, water doesn't decreases, it means that it feels I'm having less water because now sucrose is increased, so I'm feeling concentrated. Okay, so it will gives it water. Okay, and what happens that it is now it is having very high amount of water, so it will feel some pressure, that I'm feeling pressure, I'm fed up, so what should I do, I'm giving my sucrose to this cell, and it is known as sieve tube cell, the cell of phloem. Okay, now the sieve tube cell. Okay, the sieve tube cell, these are the sieve tube cell of phloem. Okay, this will conduct to sucrose to various parts. What are the various parts? The various parts can be, the various parts can be some fruits, okay, and some roots. Okay, what are the fruits? The sucrose is transferred to various fruits. The sucrose is transferred to various fruits, and you eat the sucrose in that fruit, like if you have eaten guava or banana or mango. Okay, so this is transferred to this, and it is also transferred via this phloem. Okay, it is also transferred via this phloem to various roots. Okay, what are these roots? The roots which are having this sucrose, the food material, converted food material. Okay, It can be potato is a root, sweet potato, sorry, potato is a stem, but it is underground stem. Okay, sweet potato. Okay, carrot. Okay, radish. Okay, so turnips. Okay, so it will convert. Okay, so we eat this. Okay, so you know that how this glucose is converted to this sucrose, and how this sucrose is taking part in many parts of this, stored in various parts of this plant via this phloem. Okay, tell me if you understand this, or if you're feeling any confusion. Okay, it is going downwards. Okay, and also it is stored in seeds. Okay, seeds like you eat so many type of seed. You eat maize, you eat rice, you eat wheat. These are seeds. Maize, rice, okay, wheat, okay, you eat gram, okay, gram, various type of cereals and pulses, so it will get transferred to these parts. Okay, so this is how the sucrose is shifted to various parts. Okay, now what happens sometimes? Okay, sometimes this is my plant. Okay, and sometimes it is having stored food material, that is sucrose. Sucrose is stored in various parts, okay, especially in roots. Okay, it is stored. Now what happened, that plant is entering into the season which is known as spring. Okay, plant is entering into a season which is known as spring. And in spring, you know, there is a lots of flower in spring season. Okay, so there is a flow of sucrose from upwards to downwards, definitely by a tissue which is known as phloem, definitely by tissue which is known as phloem. Now what happens, plant is entering into a spring, and it needs to produce so many flowers. Okay, I need to produce so many flowers, and I need to produce so many fruits, because it is a spring. Okay, now what happens, that plant says to these roots, okay, plant says to these roots that you are having much amount of sucrose, as you have stored sucrose, but right now I need these sucrose because I need to develop flower and I need to develop fruits. Okay, I need some sucrose, please borrow me some sucrose for temporary zone. I need them back because I need to develop all these things, and my glucose content is not that much high as I need it, so I'm not having this sucrose. I need this sucrose, okay, for a while, for some days, so kindly give it to me. So root will return this sucrose to this plant so that it can develop new flowers and it can develop new fruits. Okay, so at this time, there is the direction of sucrose from downwards to upwards, and if there is more sucrose, there is much more sucrose, it gets stored in roots and other parts, root, stem, okay, wherever plant can store it. So the direction is from upwards to downwards, but sometimes plant need this sucrose because it has less sucrose or less glucose, and it needs to develop so many type of flowers and fruits. Okay, so it again borrow this sucrose from its stored part, which can be stem, because potato is a stem, and roots. Okay, so it will get bake this. So there is a bidirectional of sucrose, bidirectional flow. Okay, so for xylem, for water and mineral, for water and mineral, okay, there is a unidirectional flow. Water and mineral always go upwards from xylem. Okay, it is a unidirectional flow. Okay, from root to tip. Okay, but for but for food or sucrose, okay, food, or I can say sucrose, okay, there is two direction when it is uh, uh, giving the sucrose to for roots, and again it kneads again. Okay, so there is bidirectional flow in phloem. In phloem there is bidirectional flow. Okay, first from leaves to all the parts. Okay, root, stem, shoot. Okay, where it can store. Okay, and second flow is from all the parts where it is stored this to leaf, or to plant take them back. Okay, plant take this thing back. Okay, so there is two directional flow. No, first direction is this one. Okay, first direction is this one, and second direction is this one, it takes back. Okay, but in for xylem or for water or mineral, there is only one direction, that is, sorry, there is only one direction. This was my diagram, correct? Yeah, this was my diagram. Okay, so for water and for mineral there is one direction, and for food, that is sucrose, there are two directions. First is downwards and second one is upwards. Okay, so right now I'm finishing my class, and tomorrow I will take a test of chapter for part heart only. Okay, so